Then Ryze has a decent matchup almost no matter what. The Galio will be picked into it here, and I love Olaf Galio for a gargoyle delivery system, not to mention you...
But know that the draft has a lot of power at Faker, though.
Yeah, oh, that Justice Punch was kind of beautiful here from Faker, looking for the double taunt, only finds one. Zeus might be egged underneath this turret, just barely going to survive. And Doran looks for the axe.
Literally 1 HP, I was told. Oh my god.
Okay, well, there's the flash into the egg, and the Olaf is actually not in turret range, so Zeus will just die. That's first blood. Going to help him in that 1v1, especially early on, but it means he doesn't have
He has flash too.
Yeah, thankfully Zeus has flash, as he elected not to use that. Painter is going to come up, and Zeus, I think, is just going to accept his fate and die. A second,
getting your health back up, but when you get dove and burst, not a whole lot of value. Zeka will get taunted.
Yeah, but in goes Kanavi. No Justice Punch here for Faker, as the Q is going to miss there, and he tries to get out, and it'll be successful. In goes Painter now, joining the fray, and does have that shield. Doran's rotating over. Faker's coming back as Painter flashes out, but there's the Vault Breaker. Kanavi will just be executed, and that was a massive overextension. Delight turns up. He was delivered by the Vi. But HLE
T1
now
3,000 gold at 12 minutes, and they're looking for double dragon.
Yeah, this Hex Tech should be taken here by T1. There is vision available, and there's the Realm Warp over as well at C, where the Zeka makes his way in. The taunt from Faker comes down as Delight gets the taunt flash. Faker, though, just going to turn it into an engage of his own, and Kanavi is dead yet again. This time, though, Gumayushi's here in the brawl and takes down his former support. Zeka looking for some names here as Pay's taking a lot of damage, but the curtains are going to be called as a result. Faker gets in there, Gumayushi taking so much damage and will be executed. Painter locks him down. And Faker says good night to his former AD. Out goes Delight, but in goes Doran. And out he goes again. As Zeka is going to look for a bit of damage. Deadly Flourish is indeed deadly.
And Delight insane. So they focus Kanavi down. As we're not done yet. Keria is going to set up Faker.
Yeah, Zeus in a lot of trouble here. Does get the wall down, but he is still egged. And oh man, to lose your passive in this moment as well is just very disappointing. He'll be taken out.
He's like, yeah, comes off cooldown. Hey, I'll try for it. And then he's just got him.
Got him. Got him indeed. Keria also going to get Delight as Paze is moving over. Doran trying to get in here. Delight, pretty good Shadow Dash to get over that wall. And he will be able to keep himself.
He doesn't scale. He fights.
Certainly not. But now Keria is going to get engaged on here. There's a Realm Warp over. Cease and Desist comes down onto the Camille, who throws out the ulti. Painter gets himself out of there. And the curtain call is so good. Kanavi just gets slammed with an axe. And Doran is not going to be able to flash over that wall because he doesn't have it available. The gold leads to the tune of about 1,000 for everyone on the top side of the map. It's actually been a relatively quiet game for Paze, honestly, as far as his advantage. As Delight gets that Twilight's Refuge down to at least save some of that health bar. But now the turrets begin to fall. And he was already like a 4,000 gold lead.
And now it's just pretty simple here for T1. Doran holding the cross angle here with that blast cone. Good deletion there by Zeus to prevent him from getting in the way he wants to. Now maybe he can zone the Olaf.
Yeah, Battle Herald does come down here, but she is just going to walk on forward. There is Doran claiming Shelly. We'll be able to get that charge. Gets a nice little knock up there as well, but my goodness.
The damage from that
Yeah,
poke.
that's just one axe, I guess.
Okay, Guma should be able to back away. This turret might actually finally go down here.
Well, Painter is going to go for the stun as he gets underneath this turret. Does get the Aegis out, and that is going to help him there as the Realm Warp does come in from Zeka just to back up the rest of his teammates.
Ocean Soul.
Yeah, off to the side, 20 seconds on that Ocean Soul you were talking about. Justice Punch will be interrupted as Gumayushi getting a lot of damage onto Faker as in goes Delight, but they look to turn it. Cease and Desist comes in, there's a heroic entrance, and down goes the Corki. They do manage to kill Keria, but I think he's okay with it. It's Kanavi in the backline will just pop like a balloon. Down goes Zeus as well as the curtains have been called, and never has that ability been named more correctly. As down will go everyone on HLE except for Zeka, and I think T1 will be able to finish this one off here.
But with that Ennard being as healthy as it is, and with this composition, they're not going to be able to end it on Oner this season has been the Pantheon, and Painter is just, he's exactly where he needs to be every single time in this game, and it doesn't matter anymore because now I feel like you could be wherever you want as T1 and HLE cannot punish, but His engagements have been crisp. Look at this one.
Yep, Summoner's Rift is where he's supposed to be, and he nailed it. He's right there right now. In goes Faker, looking for the angle. Taunt is decent, but Faker goes golden. Delight just explodes. It's a double for Carrier somehow. No idea how, really, as the Glacial Storm comes over, but it's really not much of a storm, you know. And Carrier, he goes in. He is going to be the punishment onto Zeus. No egg, no chance. And Gumayushi will also be put out of his misery. Zeka, the last man standing once again, still hasn't died this game, but hasn't done much of anything else either. As Doran just throws an axe on his way past, and they look for the Baron.
This week is the shift of the meta back away from Hanwha's style. Gen G playing the slow, controlled Gen G type game, right? Is a big bounce back week. T1 against D+, just playing defensively and then punishing them. And in this game, doing the exact same. And it looks like the style of Konami, which pushed the whole...
I'm personally sorry because I didn't do enough work in the draft. I also think that this draft is just kind of crap. I'm not going to lie. And the priority on the buy, I think, needs to go down. I just don't think this champion is that good. And definitely not good enough to be first picked when everything else is up and available, and then run into the Olaf trap that we saw, because T1, they had right of first selection, and I was wondering why they chose blue side instead of the first pick that everyone's been picking.
I mean, look,
but I think we know.
There are a lot of champions that you think of like, that's the Giga Vi pairing angle, even in the top lane. But neither of these mid champions, or one of them is being played in the top lane, are it, really, in terms of setting up the Vi. But they were dealing with the Olaf. The Olaf pick was such a masterclass in the draft for T1. And then Doran just pushed it too far and got a solo kill. And then they played through him and took Zeus off the map. And then Hanwha tried to force mid, and it just fell apart. As here's that Olaf right here.
Yep, Zeka is going to be able to get out. Does have a Seraph shield, so the Realm Warp will not be interrupted, and he won't do enough damage. The Actualizer has been completed, but it's a 15,000 gold lead. Pace.
Pace just doing a funny thing. He's even got the comedy atlas.
There we go.
He's got everything.
Oh, nice flash away there from Doran. Kanavi basically just explodes before anything really happens. Zeka does have a fair bit of damage as they try to go through the base gates, but Zeus is just kind of dead. Yeah, Gumayushi's also being taken down here as it's a very split fight. And T1 now have two of their opposition dead. Only Zeka there with damage, really, as they look to break open the front door. And Faker gets the flash taunt. The justice is delivered to the Ryze. And the Nexus turrets will now be taken down. T1 with utter domination here in Game 1 against HLE. And we're going to need a lot more from the boys in orange if they are going to stand.
Flux player. A lot of other players might even consider a Karma here just to guarantee it's a little bit easier to play, that you're going to have that push, but Carrier never. He has popped off on this.
Grab that bit of CS. Gumayushi should be able to help with this one. Okay, there's the flash in, and Zeus returns the fake.
Again, Mega expires, and with this slow, he wants to go in at the last possible second here, and then takes the turret shot. And that's it.
That'll do it.
Look, it's just getting 6, actually. That's just the one right there. You get that one? He's got it right now.
To get with Zeus' help, they will guarantee grub control. That is the beauty of that first blood on the top side of the map. These grubs feel pretty comfortable. That's a great sidestep as FaZe just flashes on top of Guma. Shouldn't have used the satchel, my friend, as he flashes and aims the Peacemaker.
All right.
Oh my goodness, that outplay must have really... I mean, if you miss all your buttons, yeah, I think if you hit everyone...
side steps here, right? Like, just side steps, and then the second the ability's used, FaZe is like, I kill you. He flashes on him. He's like, you're dead. Faker hasn't had that big fight yet, but the threat of it has kept HLE pretty honest.
Well, Final Spark doesn't really do too much. The headbutt is going to push him away, and that blast going into Smite. Just too good from Painter.
Yeah, I think Carrier wanted to try to maybe set up the Smite there, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't need his help.
Yeah, in goes Zeus right underneath this turret. Faker is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. Zeus is going to have to flash.
Now they're ready to challenge this Locke. Remember, this is where Caitlyn gets to be at her weakest as well. Now they're going to dive the Locke again.
Yep, flash headbutt. Pulverize does come in. There's the knock-up from Kanavi, and nowhere that Faker can go. Delight very comfortably tanks.
And I think this was... Okay, hold on.
Oh, yeah. That was a very nice satchel that time
this
around.
This trade for Dragon, but I didn't think they were going to be able to get any in.
I mean,
that guy's going to get this whole turret its first brick.
Yeah, I do agree with you. As Mega Inferno Bomb does come down, that is going to deny this turret take deal on this red buff. That's the question. It does reset back into the pit as Guma does make his way over. 5 members of T1 in the area as Delight looks to try and turn it, and they get right on top of the Gnar and take him out. Now the Cataclysm as Kanavi continues the fight. Kick comes back as Painter will get rid of him, and now the final spark, and there is Faker finding the kill onto the cow. A 1-for-1 top for support, but HLE will... And this Dragon should now go over to Kanavi, and we'll see whether T1 can actually get there in time, as yeah, Painter is booking it down towards this pit. Carrier is there, and HLE are just going to back away. I think realizing that they're probably going to have to look for a team fight on this one as Painter goes in. Not sure about that one. Final spark goes down, and that is going to be the secure by the Ambessa somehow. Zeus also tanks up the ace in the hole to save. Zeka's moving down. Faker a little bit later on the rotation. Painter still wanting to start something up here as he does just safeguard forward right on top of Delight. There is the Unbreakable Will as they look to take down the Lee Sin, but he flashes out of the way. Another Mega Inferno Bomb goes wide as the ulti from Faker is going to connect onto a few. And there's the boom boom damage as the double comes in from Faker. And now Doran just hops right over the top. Faker looking for his third as it's Pays that locks it down. 4 on the floor for HLE. Should be a Baron for T1.
It's not the first time T1 have been behind and just found their moment here in round 3. Guma trying to layer that poke in, but I just don't think he has enough damage here. Painter is very low, and we know what kind of Baron this is, even though Ox is off today.
Oh, Gumushi in a lot of trouble. Faker's moving up. And let's see whether the nails will ring true. Gumushi, that's not the satchel that he wanted, as Faker almost dies, actually.
Getting a second, and they delete this Orianna. They just picked HLE apart because HLE's all they're engaged on. Elisa couldn't peel after that.
Well, there's a kickback on a Kanavi as well, as Faker is going to get the flash out from this job, and he's going to go back in, though, because he's Kanavi, and that's what he wants to do. Teleport to bring the Ziggs into the battle.
Well, you look at the
Dragon is soul point for either team.
The gold is just so much the advantage of T1 after just one big play. Now have complete control over the map.
Yep, Delight really wants to take Faker out of the fight before it's even really started in earnest. Gets the headbutt pulverized. They're looking to try and chain CC, and they will be able to connect it. Now can Kanavi get into the back of this pit to take this one down? The answer is no, but can they win the fight? This Mega Inferno Bomb is way better from Gumayushi as Doran hits Mega. Zeus trying to survive, but now he's actually looking to try and kill Doran. Doran, can he actually get the last auto? The answer's no, and that is just the ace. There goes the Baron. At this point, because we have moved back to a 3,000 gold lead, Zeus going to get spotted here by Faker. Let's see whether Faker can find the execute, and I think he definitely can. Boom goes the Dynamite, and down goes the Ambessa.
Means that he can get an extra combo off in a team fight here post-Zonius to get some executes potentially, as we're going to see a collapse with TP.
Oh, Doran just going to teleport out. Oh, the pulverize from over the wall! And now Doran going to be forced into some alcove gaming that he absolutely doesn't want. And down will go the Gnar.
T1 are not going to be able to respond, nor will they necessarily be able to, in the interim, get the Dragon before HLE can rush over and stop them. That's the question. They are already on it.
I do think
I don't know if you want this trade. If you can't stop this Dragon, then I think you might regret this choice, HLE. It's a Mountain Dragon, but we're 33 minutes in, so it's just not going to last long enough.
Nope. So this Mountain Soul is going to go over to T1 as Doran hits Mega. He's on control vision, but Delight is also in a bit of trouble. There is the Gnar from... Oh no, never mind. Doran not going to be able to find it. Gets it onto 2 in the end, but he is still dead. Flashes out of the way. Kanavi tries to get in there, but it's Gumayushi with the bomb to take him down. With 1 dead, then there might be an opportunity for HLE to push, but Mountain Soul, if T1 can reset and get back out onto the map with 5 people, this could be a very, very tough game for HLE. It's such a gambit to go for the Baron instead.
They do have a fed Ziggs with 3 grubs with Baron. So I think what their plan here is to just go and get as much damage done straight up in their faces as possible. There's no Gnar here, and they're going to open this base up directly. They might even start sieging those Nexus turrets because there just is not a whole lot of T1 right now without Doran.
Oh, this is so scary, though. Faker is on a bit of a flank angle as Kanavi gets in there right on top of Pays. Mega Inferno Bomb does so much work as he's down to the GA. Look at these Nexus turrets. They're just exploding. Delight trying to get rid of Faker as they're trying to burst down the Nexus. And it just goes. HLE bring us to a game. Hooney on the desk.
It's kind of like, it feels like in this draft, to a certain extent, it's almost like it's a budget Mundo.
Yeah, kind of.
But then got his back stopped like 3 times, and now it's going to be Guma alone here into this forest for a little while. Yeah, that could be annoying.
Coming on over as he does take the Rift Scuttler, but is he going to keep himself alive? That's the question. Gets the fear onto Kanavi, who has to flash to get out of the way. There is the Rupture landing, but Zeus is in so much trouble. Needs the auto flash, goes over the wall, but Painter went in a different direction. Good defensive Rupture comes down as Zeka will get that face check and takes out Painter to even out the trade. The first blood still goes over to T1.
Very, very tense.
Down against Faker, who just stuck around in the mid lane. Kanavi coming on over. Carrier looking for the Cosmic Binding, doesn't quite find it. As Delight looking for a pincer maneuver. Zeka with the inside track as there's a teleport back from the Varus. Painter getting taken down low. The flash forward from Zeka, but he's unable to kill Painter. Still Kanavi able to claim Carrier's life. Now Painter coming down. Zeka gets his way in. Drake is going to be secured by HLE as well, but Pays landing the damage. Zeka dancing around the fight though, and Pays cannot kill anyone. They all just escape on a sliver of health. Maybe Delight will go down as this Blight is stacked up. And there's the flash in. They do manage to turn it around though.
And the Dragon isn't even secured by Painter. It's just a huge disaster. Into this Ahri comp? I don't think so.
Yeah. This is also a lethality Varus as well, so I feel like the late game insurance isn't quite there as there's another Rupture onto Doran. He's just dead.
And
Ahri
just
hits
like
the
that.
level.
Karma lane, so there's not much value there. It's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, on that Dragon fight, I think they should have just let it go. They're going to look for a pick on Delight.
This is less weird. That is how you just kill a Karma. We'll be able to help keep Zeus somewhat healthy, as the Drake will be secured here by HLE. Just to go Spectre's Cowl and then finish your build.
Yeah, just because now you're not... Oh boy.
I don't like his positioning all that much, as he's standing on an equalizer for now. Pays stacks up the Blight, and down goes the Cho'Gath. Surely
slowly Legends is back.
Losing their grip on this game.
Slowly Legends is back. Zero, but is going to transform his Muramana potentially faster.
Oh dear. There's another Rupture landing. Oh, he's silenced, so I guess he can't do anything.
I'm back right now.
Got another Tempered Fate there, carry out. We might need it in the bottom lane. As there is the charge, and the turret is going to go down.
Might need it for Guma's W's coming through.
Okay, Painter looking for Guma. And the fear, not going to quite work there because there is a cleanse on a Gumayushi, and he gets himself out scot-free. Well, by scot-free, I mean with both summoners now down. And he comes back and takes the turret as well, Wolf!
Yeah, no, I think this one is just all over but the Cryon at this point. It's only a 3,000 gold lead. Like, it's only
also
a 3,000 that he's trying to ult aren't changing either next time he presses this. Faker!
Oh my god! And we've seen this one before. Faker is running in the wrong direction because he knows there was no way out of this. He's going to die on his own terms, and I respect it. Kanavi, though, moves up to 2-1-5 on this Naafiri. And HLE just kind of feels like they can do no wrong right now.
HLE. Okay, they're doubling down on this.
Hang on, this might be wrong. This might be doing a wrong. Although it's going to take a while to kill him.
Can you hurt him?
He kind of yells at Painter here momentarily as the teleport does bring them in. Pays is just going to die though as Kanavi. He goes untargetable. That is going to be the ulti down, and they might be able to kill this doggo. The paranoia comes in. Painter will take him out, but now it's Gumayushi against Carrier and Doran, and Zeka is moving up to join. Kind of misses everything, but Carrier is still likely to die as he does take the magical journey out. True Shot Barrage finishes off Gumayushi's old partner, and Doran, he's gonna do it again. Never mind. He's not gonna trust it this time around, and he is just going to flash his way towards the jungle and maybe escape.
Wasting their time.
Carrier there. Didn't actually matter ultimately in the end, as Carrier is going to get interrupted. Magical Journey does come on through, but the ulti will follow him. Good Cosmic Binding, but Carrier is still very dead. Paranoia into the bottom lane. Let's see what they can get done here as the Rupture comes on through, but it's spell shielded. Gravity Field comes down. This is taking 400 years. And Zeus, let's see what you can do. Misses that Rupture. Why is this taking so long? As he takes down Painter, and he's still alive. What the heck was that? That was very silly. Zeka going to try and defend this turret. It's going to take a little bit of defense. And the Baron is the trade.
I know that he probably could have just walked away, but he didn't. Okay, this is an hold on to a prio target.
There we go. Gumayushi going to arcane shift and die. There he goes.
I need a lot more information about how that all went down, as Delight here is going to avoid the ult from Carrier.
Zeka diving in. Kanavi goes untargetable for a few moments. The equalizer is down, and Zeus is massive, but they need to keep Kanavi alive, and he is going to stay alive and pick up so many kills. It's a double as he takes down Carrier. Paze will be able to at least get rid of the doggo, but they haven't even begun to deal with Zeus' massive health bar, and Zeka executes Faker off to the side. Chemtech Soul, I imagine.
Carrier
and Doran just kind of misses a bunch of buttons there, but they do navigate their way out. Kanavi finding some darkened daggers onto Doran. It's a bit of an alliteration, but he also might be a little bit dead. Untargetable goes the doggo as the Arcane Storm is down. Painter gets into the backline, but everyone just scatters immediately. The Arcane Storm is decent, but Zeus just flash eats him. Down goes the Rumble. Delicious, says the Cho'Gath. He might die for it, but it looked pretty cool while he did it. Kanavi also killed the Nocturne, and it's a one trade here for HLE.
The health bars are low.
Okay, Kanavi, I don't know about this one, as Paze does have a lot of DPS, and down will go the dog. And there is the Tempered Fate onto Gumayusi. Not able to land that Mystic Shot as these health bars are not infinite. But Gumayusi, the Arcane Shift. It's so clean, but the minion wave comes on forward.
It's just so risky to actually keep pushing dealers there that you're walking at, and a turret.
All right, Faker just trying to farm this mid lane, but he does get a bunch of buttons down, but he is still just going to die. A little bit too far up as there's the teleport in. 4 versus 5, Elder Dragon. Already had been started here by T1. Look at Zeus' health bar. We don't have enough resolution for it.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where it kind of looks like he's a minion because like the little lines weren't possible to be seen. Okay, that was ridiculous.
I've never seen that before.
No, neither have I. He has really gone even further beyond.
They have, by the way, Feast and Smite. Good luck.
The Paranoia comes down. They're going to turn the lights off. As T1, they look to engage. There is the Tempered Fate. They try to lock them down. It's stolen by Paze. Somehow he pulls a Gumayusi. But can they actually win the fight? That's the question. Paze gets the cleanse out. Kanavi is going to be taken down. But I don't think you're ever getting to this Cho'Gath execute threshold. Oh no! Doran is going to survive, and Faker not get any more kills or deaths or assists.
The equalizer,
because if he dies as a big aeroplane, I'm going to be so happy.
The equalizer is going to be pretty tough to actually fight through as well. Able to get the steal is because the Tempered Fate goes onto the Cho'Gath.
Oh my goodness.
Pulls a Guma into Guma. And then look at how well he kites this out. He saves the game here, literally.
Yeah.
Almost gets Delight as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The fact that he aims it actually with Delight in mind is insane.
Carrier has his ult back up. This is really scary here for HLE fans with so much control until this moment.
All right, they're engaging onto the Cho'Gath, seeing whether they can take down Zeus. Painter dives in, but they barely get his health bar down. Now Zeka dashing forward. Tempered Fate is going to lock down Kanavi for a moment. It's Paze. Great sidestep on that Rupture. And Doran just trying to spread the damage. Yeah, and they do have Feast Smite. Like you said, the Rupture comes on through. Will they get it? Yes, they will, right?
But with Baron buff and this incredibly difficult to kill Cho'Gath,
and a 25 stack Magi's Ahri.
600 Heartsteel stacks, or 556.
That's a lot. That's some ARAM stats right there. Is okay. In goes Painter once again. There goes Painter once again. And Paze is almost just dead as well. Oh God, Zeus is breaking the game again with this ludicrous health bar as he teleports in. The Vorpal spikes as well, doing a lot of work. Faker just going to get pushed out of his own base. Zeus will actually be taken out, but the Rupture is massive before he dies. And now Gumayusi is dashing forward. The GA comes on through. It is a great cosmic binding there onto Kanavi, but he is still able to help lock down the kill on a Carrier. Doran trying to sidestep. It doesn't work. Guma goes to 7-1 and 6. And these Nexus turrets will be taken out. Hanwha Life Esports will finally get on the board here in this round robin. You can see they're pretty psyched about it.
Pretty sick draft here for